So, in the year of our Lord, 1999, we get American crust punk band from Portland. They're not from Portland, dude.
They're not from Portland.
They're out of Portland.
Yes,
Tragedy. Okay, they're from Memphis, Tennessee.
they are.
Oh shit! I forgot about Death Threat. All one word, Death Threat.
Yeah.
That
Look
band
at
was
all those
good,
bands these guys
dude.
were in,
It's
man.
ridiculous, man. That band was awesome too, man.
Yeah, they were.
Anyways, we got Tragedy, right? They put out a couple of albums, but in '02, I think '02, we get what I personally think of as their greatest record, Vengeance. I mean, some people say Nerve Damage. I like that a lot too. Um, I think Vengeance is a slight bit better, but they're both really great albums. Uh, man, how long is this record? Tragedy's Vengeance.
It's
Here we
like
go.
38 minutes.
Yeah, dude, it's 39 minutes, 12 songs. So they're like a little bit longer. Like some of them are real short. Then they have a couple that are like 4 minutes. They have a few of them that are like 4 minutes, 4.5 minutes. Because they do like epic crusty D beat, man. Like they're like they do epic songs, man. So here's the thing. I'm again gonna not pretend that I know everything about this band. When I was, I don't know, in my early 20s, I was explaining this in the other part of the video to Nitty. Houston and Texas specific, like just the whole state, really. We got into the Cleveland hardcore thing real bad, and I don't know exactly how it happened, but that morphed into like D beat stuff. We went from like Integrity and Ringworm, and then we discovered like Tragedy. And I probably was listening because I already listened to Discharge back then, but I didn't think of Discharge as anything other than a punk band. They were just like a street punk band to me back then. Like I just
Hmm.
was like, yeah, they're just like a little more chaotic, a little darker, but they're just a punk band. Like when you're real young and it's 25 years ago, like this shit was just punk or it wasn't punk. It was hardcore or
Yeah.
it wasn't hardcore. Like I didn't care. And then I started learning about like subgenres to even like the subgenres. And I didn't
Mhm.
know what
Mhm.
power violence was until I was like almost 30, man. I didn't know what fucking crust punk was. Uh, I knew drunk punks, but that was more like a style of dress more than anything. It was more like I don't know. Anyways, bro, I started rambling about shit. But I got a hold of, I think I want to say maybe Death Threat and his heroes gone were the ones that were
Mhm.
introduced to me first, and I liked it. I liked it okay, but as we've established on this channel many times, I like melody, and I like a little bit of production with my stuff too, man. It takes me a while to get into bands that have like, I don't know, I don't want to say bad production. That's not really the right word because some of it's intentional, but like, lower fi production, like a little noisier, less sleek. I like that stuff, but I have to get into it through the back door, man. I can't just be like, here's ultra noisy crust band. I can't do that. I need to hear the more accessible stuff first, and I got to work my way into the less accessible stuff. So I got
Mhm.
into like His Hero's Gone, Death Threat. What other bands did I listen to? Let me pull up that list again. There was a few of them. Death Threat, Severed Head of State. I heard a few times. I can't remember if I even liked them.
They're I think they're an Austin band, a Texas
Maybe
band.
that's why I heard of them then. There was a few bands from we had who that band Look Back and Laugh felt like it fit this kind of crew a little bit. Also, God, what was that band that was from here?
Storm the Tower.
No, hold on. There was a band when I remember their name, it's going to make me irritated. I can't pull it up right now. Let's see here.
Hmm.
I think they were in like World Burns to Death.
World Burns to Death. That's right. Yeah, that's them. They
I
they
think
are shared members, I
with
think.
Severed Head of State.
Yeah, yeah. Or they did a
Okay,
split together at least.
okay. So like those dudes were around my scene quite a bit, and I think that's how I got introduced to like Death Threat and His Hero's Gone.
Yeah.
And then I think I was like into it. I don't know why I said I think. I remember being like into it like a little bit. And like if they played live, I'd go hang out and see them. And I think a lot of that stuff was better live than it was on albums to me at
So
that
this was
point.
like what, 2005, 2006?
Probably around that time, yeah. And then somebody was like, "Have you heard Tragedy yet?" And I was like, "No." Like, no. They're like, "You should hear this, man. I think you'll like it." They're like, "It's real dark." And I was like, Dude, that's what it was. We were all like listening to like really dark ass music. All of us were sad little pussy motherfuckers, bro. We were all we're fucking girls and shit, and everything we need is sad, sad music. And we were listening to like everything we were listening to had like a dark tone to it. Does that make sense?
Hmm.
Phantom Pains, Alkaline Trio, It's all had this like tone to it. But I needed something like beefier, and the guy brought me Tragedy. And
Yeah.
God, who brought it? Might have been Jaron. Might have brought me that. Maybe Dennis. I don't know. One of my buddies brought it to me, and they let me hear. I think it was Vengeance, the first
Oh,
one that
so
I
you guys
heard.
listen to like sad boy emo stuff, emo pop punk stuff?
Like just dark. We were like not really, because we weren't listening to like My Chemical Romance, but it was like old AFI, fucking this band, the Phantom Pains, which is like
Were
Nerve
you like,
Agents type stuff. It has like this like darker tone to it. Like all the chords they use are that real dark
but it's
tone.
still kind of poppy. That stuff is pretty melodic.
Yeah, but I wanted something heavier, and that's when they brought me Tragedy. They're like,
Yeah,
"Hey, it's
yeah,
got the melody, but it's like heavier and angrier." And
yeah.
the vocals really grabbed me. I liked them immediately. I was like, "Oh, this dude sounds like he's
Yeah.
gargling with fucking
That's Todd
bourbon."
Burdett. Yeah, for sure, man.
And I
Uh
got
huh.
a hold of this. I liked it a lot pretty quick. Like it got to where I would say that Tragedy got the most airplay out of all these bands, even though they're not my favorite. My favorite's From Ashes to Rise. But it's just the one album. That's the problem, is that Nightmares is the only album that I really
Yeah,
like by them.
they have another one too, but it's a little less
Right.
produced.
And the thing is that Tragedy's got two that are like absolutely amazing. Uh
Have you heard
Vengeance.
Tragedy's last record that came out in like
Dude,
2018?
I didn't even know they had an album in
Yeah,
2018 until I looked at this and I went, "What?"
it's very different. In fact, the one that came out in like 2012 is it's almost like a metal album. It's
That
like
doesn't surprise
slower.
me.
Like,
Ugh.
yeah, no. That guy Paul Burdett after Tragedy, he went like full like black metal pretty
That
much.
doesn't surprise me at all, though. This stuff is like that's where you're headed when you're listening to it. If you're playing this music,
Yeah.
you're headed towards fucking Burzum. Like
The one thing
I
I'll
don't
say,
really know anything about black metal, so that's the only band I know.
I'll let you keep going and then I'll add my 2 cents about
No, I
this
was just
record.
saying, like you're playing this music. If you're into this and
Yeah.
this is the trajectory you're on, like I found this. I just added it to my collection of stuff I was already into. But if I was like into this and then making this music, you're headed a specific direction, man. Like, when you're playing
Yeah.
music, you're already two steps ahead of what you're playing. You're
Right.
already into shit
Right.
that's down the road.
Totally.
So I'm not surprised that this dude turned into like a black metal guy. That's not surprising at
Yeah.
all. It's a
Yeah.
little disappointing, but whatever.
I mean, it's not straight up black metal. I mean, he's still a punk rock guy, right? So it's like it has elements of like I was watching this interview with him and this guy from like the pandemic days, like 4 years ago, and he was saying that after Tragedy's last record, some of the guys in the band wanted to keep playing hardcore and D beat stuff, and he was like, creatively, he was like in a different place. You know, he wanted to venture out more and do different, more ambient kind of stuff.
How many times can you write an album like this, bro, and
Right. That's
it not get
exactly.
stale?
Yeah, that's exactly it, right? But I mean, even this record, I think, like I was listening to it, and I'm like, some of these songs can be a lot shorter. They have a lot of these like instrumental kind of like interlude parts,
Yeah.
and they like build up, or they'll do these like
Well, that's one of the things I liked about From
setting
Ashes Rise. It's
setting the
straight to the
atmosphere.
point.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, they got the build-ups too and stuff, but
Not like
uh,
Tragedy, bro. They're
but
they're they're way more like
Tragedy is like build up, build up, song, okay, end. And it's just like that's how their songs are. And it's like in the middle, you got this fast, D beat, crusty shit that's super riffy, and then at the end, it's just like it's just like single
well,
note picking, moody shit, you know.
so
Um, but anyway, it's cool.
sorry.
No, no.
Well, okay, so I'm getting like hype on this right now, dude, because I really do like this band. I
Oh
like
yeah,
them a
they're
lot.
great. They're a great band,
Um,
without a doubt. They're a great band.
their music to me is like you can't listen to. Okay, with Skid System, I could definitely put three or four of those songs on a mixtape, and it could go in with like another mix of like other crazy sounds, right?
Yeah.
Tragedy, you maybe one or two of their songs you could do that with, but by and large, you need to listen to their album.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It's a cohesive piece of artwork that you need to listen to from front to back. It tells a
I agree.
story. It may not be like an actual story, but it tells a story within its music. And I kind of like that on this, because on certain bands you don't need. I find myself doing that with Rancid a lot. I'll put on an album, and I'm like, I can't listen to like at the middle of it. I have to just listen to the album. It tells me
Yeah.
a story. It may be my story, but it's a story nonetheless, right? With this album, you get a story out of it, man. Like with conflicting ideas. it's like two songs in one, like you were saying, man. It's a
Yeah.
little over 3 minutes, and it changes abruptly. I like the second part a little bit better. Um, it's heavier, it's slower, it's a bit more melodic. But the only thing that I really wrote down about this is this band's combination of dark goth-esque sounds and riffs with fast D-beat drumming, very ferocious barking vocals, and fantastic production is a
Hmm.
sound I've never really heard replicated. Maybe a little bit with From Ashes Rise, but I mean, that's it. Some of the same people, I think, maybe. I'm not really that surprised if it is. And then I put this stuff was huge in the mid 2000s in Houston. Everyone was listening to Tragedy and Integrity and wearing tight black jeans with denim jackets. Um,
That's pretty funny.
dude, it's so true.
Isn't
And
it crazy to see like styles and fashions change, like with the
oh,
music
dude,
that your friends are listening
I
to?
look exactly the same as I did back then, but if I look at photos, all my friends looked a little different.
Did you ever wear
Um,
tight pants?
Me,
Yeah.
if I wore pants, I always wear shorts. But yeah, I wore black skinny jeans. I still have a pair.
There was a time where the skinny jeans thing was a
I don't
huge.
wear like skin tight though. I wear like skinny jeans as in they taper. They don't go out like a. I
Some of
don't
those
like.
crust guys, you look at them like, dude, their balls are fucking
I'm
constricted,
like,
man.
bro, what do you do? I can see your whole dick, dude. Like your whole dick is showing to me
With
right
like the
now.
boots on and shit. Like,
Yes,
damn,
bro.
dude.
So okay, I put
Anyway, keep going.
one thing I want to write down or say real quick is the title track Vengeance is
Yeah.
probably the best song on the album, right? And I put the Galloping Triplets in the title track. Bro, I love this shit so much. Kind of like if someone was raised on Manowar and then discovered Discharge as they were starting to get a band together.
Yeah, yeah,
Like
definitely.
that's exactly what it sounds like. It sounds like some kid listening to Manowar tried to get a band together. It took him 2 years. As he was getting it put together, he discovered fucking Discharge. Still had Manowar in his head and was like, I could do this. And then it came out as fucking Tragedy.
Totally.
But
Totally.
also, I have a question, dude. This is a
Hmm.
legit question. I is Tragedy a hardcore band,
This is
bro?
kind of
Right? Your
remember when
sigh
we
is
were
exactly how I feel.
remember when we were talking when you're on the thing, the stream or whatever, doing the live from the record store, you're like, I'm gonna organize my hardcore and punk
Yeah.
sections. And I'm just like, don't mix up the bands. This is kind of what I was like saying. It's like
Well, so okay, in
they
that respect, I
they
put
fall into
Tragedy
both
in punk.
categories. Yeah, they're a punk band. This is a punk band, but like it's a hardcore punk band, you know?
Yeah, well,
If you
because
really
I
want to
know
be.
John from Empire Down really fucking loves Tragedy, and
Yeah.
I think that he refers to him as a hardcore band, and I never had heard that before,
I mean, they're
and
hardcore.
I was like hardcore band, and I
They
was
could
like interesting. I mean,
they could
whatever,
be
bro.
that.
Look, I am done arguing people about genres. I don't give a shit. You
It
call
doesn't
Rancid
really,
whatever you
yeah.
want. You call Tragedy whatever you want. You call fucking Metallica whatever you want. I don't care. Um,
Yeah,
I like Tragedy. That's all that really matters to me. But
totally, 100%.
I was really excited when they repressed Vengeance on vinyl recently. It was like I don't know a couple years ago. Uh, I didn't think I would ever find a copy of that on vinyl, and I was like, "Oh, I can get an affordable copy." Actually have one that's in my stash for the store.
Do yourself a favor and listen to their last two records they put out. I want to.
Oh,
I
I
want to know what you
definitely
think
will now.
the 2018 and 2012 releases. They're very different than this stuff.
I would expect it to be pretty different.
Um, but no, I really enjoyed. I like the way the album's recorded. I like the guitar tones a lot on this record too.
Oh, I love, dude. Okay, that's something we don't ever touch on typically. I love the production of this album. I talk production when I do my own breakdowns on an album and do a review. I always mention the production to some degree because I like
Yeah,
that's something that I'm fond of is like different styles of production. I don't know the technical terms all the time, but I can describe something pretty well. The production on this, it's got a very dense sound without it sounding muddy. It's like it's full. Like I don't feel
yeah,
like okay. You know how sometimes on like old thrash albums, you feel like they were playing the guitar in a hallway.
yeah.
This is like you get some of the same riffs and sounds from those albums, but you don't get the same weird
Yeah.
hollow tone.
It's very warm. It's a very
That's a
warm sounding record.
yes, that's a good descriptive word for this.
It's
It's
just
very
kind of
warm.
like it like encapsulates you, you know. It's very like the guitars are like rounded out, you know, well. And it just kind of it has a wall of sound thing going on slightly, but it's it's polished, you know, whereas like some of the noisy stuff I like, it's a wall of sound, but it's like sandpaper over the top of the music.
Right.
This is like a smooth lacquer. You know what I
Well,
mean?
the thing is like there's
It's
also
different.
there's a spectrum for just about everything that we are into.
Yeah.
And I think this is on the lighter end of the spectrum for it's more accessible. But
Yeah,
like,
this is very accessible. It's melodic. It's a very melodic record for one thing.
well, you know what really bothers me is when people hear that and then they go, "Oh, well, tragedy isn't real fucking D beat. Real D beat only sounds like this and this." And it's like,
Uh,
dude, stop it, man. Like, no, they just cared to put that sound together. Like, some people prefer a little bit less shimmer, and some people want it to be real slick,
right.
man.
And
It's the same
honestly,
stuff. I don't understand how that matters. Like,
I can't think of another band that sounds like Tragedy. Tragedy is
fuck
their own
no.
thing. You know what I mean?
Dude, they
Like
are very much. I know so many people with that little bird tattoo on them, bro.
that's
So
interesting.
many. Oh, dude, I probably know 15 people with that fucking in Texas, like just straight up in most of them in Houston.
I think Tragedy toured Texas a lot when they were a band.
Dude,
Like
we were
they hit.
huge fans of that shit,
Yeah.
dude. I mean, uh, the bands that we had that resembled it. I mean, dude, my old band was fucking called Crow's Feet, dude. Think about that name, man. Like
Yeah.
we were really dark. And when we changed our sound, we changed our name. We became Framed because our sound was just changing too much. It was getting too poppy, honestly.
Yeah.
We were like an early pop punk hardcore band, like, but like, how do I say this? It was like skate punk hardcore, if that makes any sense. It wasn't
Hmm.
like Blink 182 or Newfound Glory pop punk. It was like, but anyways, my point is like there was a bunch of dirty ass, like crusty punk shit happening in Houston for a while. It was awesome,
Yeah.
man. It
That's
was
cool.
awesome. It was
That's
awesome,
cool.
dude.
I love that. But no, I really enjoyed this record quite a bit. I feel like my one gripe about it is like it's a little too long. Like in terms of like the for the number of songs there are and for the length of the record, it could be a little shorter. Um,
Yeah, I mean, I would if I could have my perfect length album at 12 songs, it would probably be closer to like 28 to 30 minutes.
I was gonna say 20 to 25 is where I'm at. You know.
No, not with songs like this. They can't be that short. They wouldn't be the same album. It would be a completely different piece of work.
That's true. That's true.
So like, but I also agree with you that it's a little bit long. It goes a little bit long, but you know, but it also
So
has all the shit I like in it. It's got all the
totally.
guitar work I want. It's got all the drums. The drummer, I like the vocals. I also, the thing is that the guys that are make up this band, they're in so many bands that I like.
So by the way, the drummer of Tragedy was in Criminal
Yes,
Damage.
I
He
love
was
that fucking band.
he was the guitar player for he was the front man for Criminal Damage.
Dude, I want that on vinyl, but it's always like $50, and I just can't seem to pull the
Yeah,
trigger
that's
on
a
it.
band that I really regret not seeing when they were around because they had like a 3 album run and they broke up in like 2013 and that was it. And I'm like, fuck, you know. But you know those bands like From Ashes Rise and Tragedy both. I mean, so From Ashes Rise is from Nashville, Tragedy is from Memphis. They're like buddies that essentially kind of like pioneered this like neo crust sound, right? Like melodic crust D beat stuff, and they moved to Oregon together, pretty much. So
Okay.
they both like relocated to the Northwest, and that's where their home base was. I
Dude,
think
what are you doing that is so noisy?
I'm not doing anything.
No, now I'm not hearing it. Okay, sorry. It just sounds like maybe I don't know. It's whatever. Fine, sorry. Uh, did it sound like you were like maybe had like ice on a glass or something? It was like driving me nuts. Uh,
Definitely don't have ice in a glass.
it did it again. I don't know what the fucking noise is. Maybe it's not coming through on the actual recording. Then good. Um, yeah, dude. I don't know a lot about the band other than kind of that they pioneered the sound because you are right. Even with their other projects. Sorry, I was just asking. I wasn't trying to sound as angry as I actually sounded.
No, that's okay.
Um, uh, even with their other projects, with like Death Threat, Severed Head of State, um, His Hero is Gone. Even those bands didn't. They still had the core sound of what Tragedy ultimately came out to sound like, but none of them had like all the parts. They were all missing something. Tragedy is like
Yeah,
a fucking. It's like you remember that show Voltron?
I do.
all those bands came together to form Tragedy, bro. Like that's what it felt like to me. I
That's right.
always heard that they shared members with From Ashes Rise. I didn't know that they didn't.
No,
That's interesting.
there's like zero crossover there. I mean, there might have been like some fill-in situations, but the band members, the core band members, are completely different.
That's good to know because I honestly was like, man, that kind of sucks. I would like to know that From Ashes Rise, dude. That guy's vocals are amazing, bro. Love that guy's vocals.
Yeah.
But like, I like a higher pitch, like filth,
Mhm.
Grimple. Like you hear what I like, you're like, oh, I can figure that out. But like the deeper stuff is good, but I prefer the higher pitch stuff. But yeah, man, I'm trying to think of some of the other bands we had. Remember when Wolf was in everybody's band name? The word Wolf.
Wolfpack, Wolf Brigade.
Oh, dude, we had I Am Wolf down here, which was fucking amazing, dude. It was like imagine if Liberty and Justice and Tragedy cross pollinated
Interesting.
because it was Ryan's band, and you could tell that he was gonna go on to. It was very very good rock and roll, dirty, crusty rock and roll shit. I don't even know how to explain it. You might like it actually. I need to send
Oh
you a
yeah,
link to that.
I'm
But
down to hear it. Well,
not much else to talk about, man. Tragedy is a great band. Vengeance is a great album. It's got everything that I want to hear in a band or like a I don't know. It's honestly people are going to get irritated by me saying this. This is like a perfect D beat album. Like I think
uh,
that Discharge like walked so that Tragedy could run.
the last thing I wanted to add about Tragedy was like they're highly influenced by all the like Japanese bands, but they took all that Japanese shit, specifically a type of Japanese D beat,
Okay.
Burning Spirits, which was this like um essentially a style of like Japanese hardcore that had a lot of leads,
Okay.
melodic leads in them, and they kind of adapted them. So if you listen to the singer of Tragedy, like he's a big like Japanese punk and hardcore nerd.
That's
So
awesome.
they took a lot of like the Swedish and Scandinavian stuff and the Japanese stuff and adapted it into like their own kind of formula and made it accessible for the American audience and or just the international audience.
That's pretty obvious that you can tell they have a wide variety of
Mm-hmm.
influences. Like you can tell that they listen to stuff like At the Gates. You can tell that they also listen to Discharge. You can tell they probably like Motorhead a little bit. Like you can tell like it's in there.
Like they love the metal stuff too, you know. It's pretty
Right.
obvious.
You know, I want to know like because Rants is my favorite band. I always try to like I don't try, it just kind of always happens. I always like equate things to what Rancid guys are thinking or saying, but I'd like to hear Lars's like opinion on this band because I know he likes some heavier stuff. He loves GBH, he loves Discharge, he loves
Yeah.
Motorhead. I wonder if this has ever come across his fucking plate and he's been like, let me listen to this. I bet he knows who Tragedy is.
I'll bet you he loves them.
Yeah, probably does. Matt Freeman probably does too. He likes a lot of that like darker
Seems like
music.
a D beat guy. I can see Lars being in a D beat band.
Dude,
Honestly,
his vocals are really good. That would sound.
he's a great guitar player too. So
I think so.
I mean, he's pretty much the guitar player in Rancid at this point. So Tim doesn't really do much.
Bro, Tim has mastered the art of being like,
He just holds a guitar.
I'm gonna hang out.
Yeah, he just holds the guitar and says a bunch of words you don't understand.
Tim, I'm gonna hang out,
But
Armstrong.
yeah. But Lars, I mean, yeah, I mean, I wouldn't. He's been in bands that actually practice where I practice.
Really?
There's a big like 3-story complex in like
Yeah,
Oakland,
we have one of those down here too.
like the Oakland Music Complex. So most of the bands in the East Bay practice there because that's just where you go. You know what I mean? You get a room there. So I think the old firm casuals used to practice there a lot.
They have a new album coming out this year. I'm like
really?
I'm like really intrigued by that because
Yeah. I mean, he's around here, man. I mean, you could probably get in touch with the guy if you tried hard enough.
oh, I have his phone number
Why don't you just text him?
because I fucking hate bothering people, man.
I mean,
I'll DM him first and just say, hey, man, you know, I don't know if you remember talking to me this much, but you gave me your phone number a while back, and I was wondering if I could hit you up for a podcast episode. I just feel like there's a level of like respect given when I just DM you versus trying to text. I don't know. I just want to.
yeah, maybe that's a little bit too aggressive for the
Yeah,
first.
and if we talk a little bit, then I'll say, hey, I got your number still. You mind if I text you? Because he called me. Is how I got his number. I didn't ask for it. He called me at my comic book shop, and we talked about stuff for his kids. He's such a regular ass dude. Like, it was
Yeah.
awesome. That's why I know I can, if I can just get him to get some time, I can talk to him. I know he's super relatable. He's a regular ass guy. He is one of the most unwarranted hate that I've ever heard in my life. I said that all backwards. He gets some of the most
Mm.
unwarranted hate I've ever seen. Like, people just love to hate that guy, but he's fucking cool, man.
All right.
There was something else I was going to say before we get out of here. Can't remember what it was. Fuck. Yeah, there's something I needed to tell you too. Oh well. I'll send you a link to that I Am Wolf stuff. I want to hear your
Oh,
thoughts
yeah.
on it.
I want to hear it.
Oh, me and Rob, we're gonna do the Damned,
Oh, the Damned.
and we're gonna do Shock Troops.
Ah, man, you get to do the cool stuff with him. You pick the obscure fucking weird stuff that no one wants to hear about with me.
I mean, we just did.
I'm just
You
kidding.
picked Skid System, you motherfucker.
I'm totally kidding, dude.
So okay, well, the reason we picked those is because those artists are gonna be at PRB.
Yeah.
And I probably won't do another one of these until I get back from Punk Rock Bowling, because it
That
is
makes
next
sense.
weekend. So
That makes
that
sense.
being said, would you like to do some artists from Punk Rock Bowling?
Yeah, sure. I'll do
Okay,
anything.
so let's see. Okay. Do you want to try to do some like Peter Hook projects, or do you want to go more into like punk stuff?
Whatever you want to do.
All right, fuck it. Let's go real. Let's be real stupid. Let's do
Yeah.
what?
You pick this time.
I know you don't like Social Distortion, so we'll skip that.
I mean, that doesn't mean I can't talk about them.
No, I know, but I'm not gonna make you listen to a whole ass album if you. I know you don't like them.
I'll do it. I'll just shut
Let's-
up the whole time.
I know you will.
That band's
I like-
boring as shit.
I mean, I disagree with that, but I can see why you think that. I'm not gonna say like, they're fucking. I get it, but I disagree.
I think like stylistically, it's a thing. People like it or they don't. You know.
All right, fuck it, dude. We're gonna do a homie of mine. We'll do Power Trip.
Oh shit!
Yeah, let's
R.I.P.
do
Riley.
Manifest Decimation, and then let's do. Oh shit, dude! Yeah.
Speaking of them with riffs, man, Power Trip's got riffs for days.
You ain't lying, bro. That's what I was thinking about, just banging my fucking head for a solid hour. Okay, you want to do Youth Brigade?
Which album?
You pick.
Okay, yeah, I like his brigade.
All right, let's do Youth Brigade and
Is Power Trip playing Punk Rock Bowling?
yeah, bro.
What? That's crazy.
Well, you know they have that other band called Fugitive, right?
No, I didn't know that.
Okay, so basically it's the entire band Power Trip with a new singer called Fugitive. Well, they did that Riley Gale tribute show thing with the Fugitive singer, and they just did Power Trip songs because it's literally the whole band with a different singer.
I thought
And
the guy from Municipal Waste was in Power Trip now.
Fuck, dude, I don't think so.
Yeah, Tony Foresta.
Shut the fuck up.
No, he's the singer, bro. Of Power Trip now. I'm pretty sure.
Hold on, dude. That was awesome. I'll have to hold on, dude. Seriously?
I'm pretty sure, man.
Wait, okay.
Am I wrong?
Let's see. It says here it's okay. Yeah, I think it's the singer of Fugitive.
I could be wrong.
Yeah, I think Seth Gilmore. Yeah, it's the singer of Fugitive. Maybe that, but I heard that they did something together, so I don't know what the something was. So I knew that. But man, I love Municipal Waste. That's one of the few like metal bands
cool.
I really. But yeah, let's do what album is Youth Brigade? What I don't really know a lot about them. I've listened to them a fair bit, but I don't know a lot about them.
Youth Brigade is like, yeah.
I'm trying to see which album I used to have. I know I had one of them on
BYO Records. Sync with California is a good one.
Oh, that's how I heard about Youth Brigade. They did a split with Swingin' Utters. That's how I got a hold of those guys.
On their own fucking label.
That's
on
right.
Sean Stern's label, BYO Records. Yeah.
Bro, I was like, why do I know that band? So like I knew something. Okay, so yeah, well, you pick whatever album you like the best, and we'll do that one.
I'll let you know.
Cool. Oh, dude, that's gonna be fun, man. Power Trip and Youth Brigade, that'll be a good time. Awesome. I will talk to you before I go to PRB. I got a couple of streams to go. I think I'm gonna do Wednesday and Thursday next week, because I'll be gone Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. So
That-
I'll do Wednesday, Thursday, and then I'll try to do some kind of something from PRB, and then I'll see if I can set Chris up to do stuff on Friday night for y'all and Sunday night.
yeah,
But
sounds good, man.
awesome, dude. Thanks for hanging out, everybody. We love you guys. Let us know how bad we suck in the comments, please. I need long, descriptive like paragraphs of like why we suck, why we're not cool, and how big of a poser specifically I am, and then
How we can improve, you
and
know?
how we can improve. I need to know how bad my musical tastes are, what your favorite bands are. I need to know about your family drama, and
All that shit,
how tiny your dick is. Yeah,
especially that.
especially that. I need just show up in the real tight jeans. We'll be all right. Bro, that shit was wild, man. Whole ass dick showing.